Casey line of MMA fighting with the newlywed Raymond Daniels.
Yes, sir.
Just a couple of days out from his third professional mixed martial arts bout, coming up in the Forum in Inglewood. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing great. I have no complaints. I had an amazing camp. As you said, I'm newly married, 5 months in now. I have just trying to keep her happy. And if I heard that happy wife, happy life thing, so that I've been keeping that as my motto.
Yeah, you got a little you're a fighter husband-wife relationship going on. Like, how does that work out?
Yeah, definitely. The arguments definitely get interesting, and she can beat me up. So I kind of usually tend to back down from her and stuff like that. But they say a family that kicks together sticks together.
Awesome. I'm very happy. Congratulations. I'm very happy for you guys.
Appreciate it.
I guess let's talk about training camp. Where is training camp? Who are you training with down here?
I'm training with a few different locations. I train over at Classic Fight Team with my main and head coach, Tyler Wombles. I also train over at the training lab with Mark Munoz. There's TJ Dillashaw, Juan Archuleta. The main man in charge over there is Sam Calif, who does my strength and conditioning. He's amazing. Coach Cal has been able to push me in ways that I didn't even know were possible. So training out there, and then I do some of my boxing in Los Angeles with Ramon Espada.
Oh, so that's interesting. I didn't know you trained with your strength and conditioning with Sam. I know he kind of keeps everything kind of close, but like his trade secrets a bit. But what is it like? What makes that little strength and conditioning camp so special?
We do some training over with Coach Cal in his garage, and as an athlete, I've always thought and prided myself on being in shape, and have never been so humbled in my life by going in there and training with him. He pushes us to our breaking point. In the garage, we always say you kind of find your soul in there, and so he's a great man. He keeps everything tight, keeps a very family-oriented environment, and you can feel the love while you're in there, and it's that environment that feeds you, and it makes you want to grow, makes you want to become stronger as well. So I can't say enough great things about him. It's been a great opportunity to find him at this point in my career, especially as I'm transitioning into the MMA world. So it's been a beautiful thing.
Yeah, I'm just very interested. Can you break down a little bit what, as far as fitness needs, are different from karate, kickboxing, and MMA? Like, because I'm sure your cardio you probably thought was off the charts in kickboxing, but then you grapple for 5 minutes and you're like, maybe.
Yeah, no, definitely. Well, I think it has to do a lot of times with comfortability. The person who's the most comfortable is gonna be the person that is usually the calmest, and is the one that's usually not gonna be tired. Like, even though I'm getting more comfortable with, say, my grappling, my wrestling, and my stand-up, and and I'm comfortable with that. And now if you see me doing it, you're like, oh man, he's got great cardio, but you throw me in a swimming pool, and I'm like, and you're like, man, I thought he was in such great shape. So I think a lot of times it has to do with how comfortable a person is how their cardio will adapt to what specific job they're doing, so to speak. But now that I found Training Lab and found the garage with Coach Cal, I'm actually looking forward to doing a kickboxing match, because now I feel where my cardio level is at. So I'll be able to honestly go full tilt boogie 100% for just 3-minute rounds. For 5 3-minute rounds, I'll be able to just go hard.
So let's go back in time a bit to your first professional. You finally got your first MMA win.
Yes, sir.
And was it Birmingham?
Yes, sir.
That fight kind of, honestly, I work in MMA, and you were on the prelims, like kind of way early in the card. Like, was that kind of on purpose to kind of sneak you in? Not as big, high profile, high pressure fight, or was that just an opportunity you just took the fight?
What was the opportunity that I got from Mike Hogan and Scott Coker? I was the first fight out on the main card over there in Birmingham, and I have a rather large following over in the UK. So I know they're just starting that UK whole circuit and stuff like that. So that's why they wanted to bring me out over there as well, because I have a large following base on it. And if you
was that following come your karate days or kickboxing days?
Yeah, that following's coming from like my karate days, from all my kickboxing that I do over there. So I travel over to the UK several times a year, and I do teach seminars and different things like that. I have a good following from over there. So then they had an opportunity to throw on that card. If you're in my immediate circle, you knew that I was going to eventually do an MMA fight. Everyone knew that was close to me, because I tried it 10, 11 years ago, and I didn't prepare myself properly. They say piss poor preparation produces piss poor performance, and that's what my performance was the first time I went out. So this next opportunity when I had in Birmingham, when Mike Hogan and Scott Coker gave me an opportunity to do it, I made sure that I prepared myself properly. I made sure I surrounded myself with the correct people, and then I was able to go out to produce something. And in that production, happened to be like a internet sensation, went viral, whatever they want to call it. And for me, that was just 10, 11 years of built up like anxiety of being able to go back and correct, to right or wrong. Everybody has something maybe in life that they say, oh man, I wish I would have made this decision differently. And for me, that was my opportunity to go back in time, so to speak, and to be able to show everybody who I am as an athlete, as a competitor.
Was that first loss, how many years ago was that? And it was the Strikeforce, correct?
Yeah, it was in Strikeforce. I believe it was Josh Thompson and Gilbert Melendez was the main card on that, and it was in San Jose. And I remember going out there, and I was an undefeated kickboxer at the time. I was a young man. No one couldn't tell me anything. I was just like, they're like, hey, you should probably train in wrestling, or you should probably train in jiu-jitsu. I was like, oh, I don't need wrestling. I don't need jiu-jitsu. I just go out there and punch them and kick them and knock them out and call it a day. So that was literally me almost basically taking a fight with no prior knowledge or training in art, and that's what I had come to find. It's you don't know what you don't know, and it's a very humbling experience to find out firsthand that if you don't understand or respect someone's art or where they come from, those are the things that can actually hurt you.
I know at the time it probably sucked, but did you think you maybe somehow needed that ass kicking?
Oh yeah, no. I look at every kind of. Sometimes people look at maybe a setback, but it says God's plan, that's a setup for us for success. So there's beauty in the struggle. If you don't have those hardships and those struggles, then how do you know how hungry you are? How do you know how bad you want something? Because by sometimes having those different difficulties in life, it's what sets you up for the success, and you can appreciate that success more. Like I appreciate me being the Bellator champion because I've experienced what it was to. I appreciate this opportunity to be here in the MMA because I've experienced the other side. So I wouldn't take those things back, because if I would have won that fight, I would have just kept going in MMA, and I could have probably ended up getting myself hurt or some type of career-ending injury because I didn't prepare myself properly. So yes, I do look at it as, and I don't take it back. It's something that I needed at the time in order to put my head on straight, to make sure I was surrounded by the proper people at the same time.
Now, that amazing knockout you had in Birmingham, is that something you train for? Is that a combo you work on with like poor Tyler over here? like Tyler's like, all right, spin 8 times and punch me. Did you make that up on the fly, or how does that work?
Yeah, believe it or not, Tyler's one of the first people I tell about, some of the different stuff that I work on and stuff like that. And we actually work different ways to hold mitts, and he just shakes his head. But actually during that particular week, leading up to the fight week, we're doing just our warm up, just breaking the sweat and stuff like that. And we're doing some pad works she was my fiance at the time, but my wife now. We're doing our workouts, and I keep doing the 720 while I'm drilling. And then so after the fight, she tells me, she says, all week you kept doing that stupid 720 thing, and I was gonna tell you, stop doing that stupid 720 thing. You're not gonna really do that when the real fight happens. So it's just a waste of energy. Don't do that. And then she's like, I'm so glad I didn't say anything, because I ended up busting that out in the middle of the fight. So those are things that I do practice. They are things that I create in my mind. I believe you have to be able to visualize it in your mind before you can ever have it in the physical, so to speak. So if you ever want something, if you can't see yourself having it, you'll never have it. That type of move, I visualized it, I practiced it, and it just happened to come out right there. Was I expecting it to come out? No, but the opportunity presented itself, so I figured might as well seize the moment.
It was amazing, sir.
Thank you.
Now, your opponent, I believe he's 8-3.
8-3, 8-5.
But he's got lots of experience,
yes, sir.
Much more experience than you. He's actually, I was looking at his record. He seems to be more than the experience level as your first opponent that you lost to in Strikeforce a few years ago, in terms of experience-wise. Why choose him? Why that guy?
For me, I think Jason King is an excellent MMA fighter. I think he's well versed all around. I don't think he's had too many of his fights leave out of the first round. I know he's got submission wins, he's got TKO wins, but I think he's the next evolution that I need, a type of fighter that I need to face. He's similar, have more fights to the person I fought previously, and I probably could have fought somebody or tried to choose select someone with a lower record, but as you know, I'm older in the game. I don't have a whole lot of time to spend walking down the yellow brick road. I need to get to see the wizard, and the wizard is Douglas Lima. So any sport or anything I've ever competed in, my goal, and it always is to be the GOAT, the greatest of all time, God of all things, and to become the champion in that particular art form. I've done it in everything that I've ever done before, whether it be my NBL, NASCA from my sport karate days, to WCL when I won the title there. Glory, I fell short and lost the title because I had an eye cut. I won the Bellator kickboxing title, and now I'm in Bellator MMA. So I think each time I would like to step up my competition level to continue to challenge myself to be able to show people that I'm deserving of the opportunity to eventually fight a great champion like Douglas Lima. I think he's an ideal champion that I think more champions should try and model their championship tier after, because he's a godly man, he's a family man, he doesn't go out and disrespect other people. I think he's an ideal champion, which mixed martial artists should strive to be like, to be honest. So I would love to have the opportunity to compete against such a champion, somebody who's very well-rounded. So I think Jason King is that next level of opponent that I need in order for me to continue to climb the ladder, so therefore I can get to the top.
Thank you very much, sir.